to dirtyshirt.info. Project today is we're going to winterize the engine in this 22-foot Larson runabout boat. Evan bought this boat beginning of the summer. It's 2014. Now it's just fall, so it's time to get the work done. It's our first encounter with it, and so we've done our reading and our research, and I love this boat, right? I mean, it's just all kinds of cool stuff in it, and we'll get in down to the engine room here in just a minute. There's enough room to actually call it that. So it's got a 5.7 liter Volvo Penta engine in it, and there's a couple things that we have to do in order to get it winterized. So let me just sling a leg over here. And what we're going to do is we're going to remove the beauty cap here, right? And we're going to spray some fogging material down inside of it when the engine is running until it stalls, and this fogging will go down inside the whole intake and so forth. That's one thing. It's kind of the easier part of this. And then after we're done with that, we are going to make sure that all the water is out of the engine block. And what we've determined is that there's several things that have to do. There's actually 4 connection points. The thermostat is located in this area, and there's a hose that runs from here down to that side of the engine, and there's another hose running down to this side of the engine. And we're going to disconnect down here at the lower points, and then on either side of the engine, about midway through the engine, we have leveled the boat too via the trailer. We're going to pull some plugs out of the bottom of the engine, and that should allow the water to escape from the block, and then we're going to button it back up and put it together. So that's the plan. Okay, so if you're new to boating and you've never done this before, one way to run the engine in the driveway is to purchase what are called muffs, right, and attach to the hose. And the objective here is to cover these holes right here. That's going to be the intake for the water to keep the engine cool, and they just slip right on. Pretty easy to do, no drama. On my boat with the Outboard engine, it's exactly the same procedure, everything. So you crank up the water, then you should be good to go to start the engine. We'll let it get warm, and as soon as it reaches operating temperature, we'll squirt the fogger down inside the engine. Alright, we've got the engine up to operating temperature. What Evan's going to do is he's going to raise the RPM, so he's going to take the fogger and he's going to start to hit the carburetor with this stuff, hopefully without stalling it. We do this 2 or 3 times, right, to get it circulated throughout the engine. Then we're going to drop the RPMs down to idle and then spray it in until the engine dies. That would be a dead engine.
It died.
All right, both hoses are off. Easy now, you're on camera. All right, well, there's the plug. So that came out of down low, about center engine, and this thing just leaked all kinds of water outside of it. Evan then took a piece of hanger and shoved that in the hole, and all of a sudden we got a lot better water flow than we had before he did the hanger. So that's definitely something that you want to consider when you're draining the water out of this. It's going to be interesting. We get on the other side, whether or not a bunch more water comes out, or whether we've gotten like 90% of it out, and we'll get the other 10 on the other side. So that's where we're at. It's working well. Lots of water came out into the bilge.
So we remove the plug on the bottom, or the bottom plug here, the drain plug, and as you can see, there's water draining out of the bottom of the block. We'll let that drain out. What we'll also do is we're going to put a wire, took a wire hanger like we noted on the other side. We're going to shove it up in here. If anything's blocking it, make sure, and it actually starts flowing a little bit better to get all the water out of there. Alright everyone, so what we've done is we put all the drain plugs back in, we put all the hoses back together, all the water's out of the engine now. Last final step is I took the air filter that's on here that covers the carburetor and we sprayed it out with carb cleaner, cleaned that all out. It was pretty dirty from, I guess, when previous owner had it. So we cleaned that all out. As you can see, it's nice and clean now. Last final step, we're gonna screw this back on. We'll put the beauty cover on after that, and then should be ready to go for next year.